What's up, everybody? My name's Hamcam of the Doki-Doki eSports Club. Today, I'm here with my good friend DG Titty,
What's going on?
and we are going to cover the Week 3 predictions, how we think the games are going to go this upcoming weekend. It should be an interesting one. We've got two new teams, and then one of our existing teams almost completely re-rostered, so it'll be a bit of fun.
Yeah, it should be a pretty good week here coming up. We got, like Cam said, all those changes should make things quite interesting.
Yep. Starting off, we have unnamed, who should be changing their name soon. They finally get in a name. Wow. And they're going to be facing up against one of the new teams, Team 7.
And if you guys did watch any of the scrims, we have seen them before on stream. I can't remember who scrimmed them, but I know we have seen them scrim before, and they looked pretty decent.
Yeah, they scrimmed against Sero Gaming, and I believe
So,
Sero won, if I remember
yes.
correctly. But Team 7 definitely put up a bit of a fight. They know what they're
Yeah.
doing. They've got some pretty solid players on them. Their jungler, Big F, he wins a lot. Their mid laner has a long history of being a very successful player, so they've got what they need to be successful. We just have to see if they're actually able to do it or not.
It'll be good if we can see them really put their strengths into play here. Uh,
Yeah,
Coming into which what would be considered a pretty tough team.
right. Unnamed, arguably the hardest team in the league to beat. We haven't seen Unnamed versus Jag yet, so we don't know which of them is actually going to be number one. Um, I personally, I'll get to that another day. But for this matchup, I think Unnamed should be able to handle Team 7, just off what I've seen. And then also going off that, I know very little about Team 7, but objectively looking at their stats and what I've seen from both teams, I think Unnamed should be coming out on top this time.
Yeah, unnamed definitely being that they are one of the top teams in the league. I wouldn't expect them to drop this, but you could see, Team 7 coming out looking really strong and surprising us, which would be really cool to see another good team in the league here. But just based on what we have seen, I would agree with Ham that unnamed should be coming out on top here.
Yeah. And then going into game two, we've got DOV versus the other new team, Max Gaming. What do you think about this one?
Um, I'm going to give it to DOV. Again, we don't know too much about Max, but just if you're going strictly off OP.GG and looking how lanes are going to match up to each other, I would say DLV has the upper hand here. Again, we
Yeah,
could see Max pull something out and look really good, but just based on my judgment here, I'm going to give it to DOV.
right. And I mean, it's definitely possible that we could be wrong. I mean, when the league
Yeah.
started, we assumed Jag wouldn't be a top four team at all, and they're tied for first right now. So it's possible Max is able to pull out some crazy stuff here. But going off of what we've seen from DOV, they're a very solid team. They've only lost games to, I think, Unnamed and Sero so far, who are some of the better teams in the league. So
They've had a really tough schedule. I mean, they played Vex, which they got through, but
yeah, yeah,
I think they brought.
DOV's strength of schedule has not been easy so far.
Oh, they did bring unnamed to 3 games though,
Yeah,
correct?
yep, they were. Yeah, they took Unnamed to 3 games, which is pretty impressive. So I
Yeah.
think DOV has what it takes to take down Max. Just again looking at things objectively, stat wise, we'll actually have to see how Max do in the future. And so next
Mm-hmm.
week we'll have a bit of a better idea how we could actually judge this team, but
Yeah.
that's where we stand right now with it.
Good to see those two new teams kicking off the week, so we can get them and allow teams to see them and study for them because I believe, yeah, neither of them have double headers this week.
No,
We know
Max
Max
does.
does.
Yeah.
Max does.
Yep.
So it'll be good for Sarah to be able to see them against DOV.
Yeah. It'll give him a little bit of prep time. And speaking of Sero, game three, we've got Sero versus the almost new Shockwave Gaming. Um,
We got all 3 teams pretty much kicking off the week here that are essentially new. Obviously, Shockwave's been in here the whole time, but
right.
I think they replaced what 3 other players or 4?
I think four.
4?
I think four. I could be wrong. because I know they still have Faithful Fox, um, but I don't think they had any of those other people before.
Oh yeah, no, they Cat was just in the league, not on the team.
Yeah, Cat was is a leftover player from Hellbent, so
Good pickup from them though. Really good
right.
pickup.
And I think IFU's Cat is probably gonna end up being the star player for Shockwave, um,
Yeah.
but I mean he's gonna be up against one of the best mid laners in the league, if not the best in Life is Bad.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to really put on his carry pants if they hope to pull it out.
I'm excited to see that matchup.
I am too. I think the rest of the map is fairly outclassed, though, for Shockwave. I think Sero has got some of the better laners in pretty much every position. Lefkus is very adept in the jungle.
They definitely have a good overall team. They do very well in lane and everything. So hopefully we can see a good match out of that. Shockwave again, they could come back and really surprise us. Cat could definitely pop off.
Right. If he gets Cat,
we've seen. Go ahead.
No, I was any there.
We've seen the questionable positioning a couple times from Life is Bad, and
right.
Cat, if he can expose that and the team in general, they definitely have a good shot.
Yeah, I think
it's not like he's the only carry.
If Shockwave wants to really pop off in this, I think picking into like a pick style comp could really benefit them. Just that they can abuse some of Sero's positioning. But other than that, I think even with that, it'll still be hard for them. So I think I'm going to give it to Sero again. Wow, Blue Side's just pulling all the favors.
Yeah, right? Blue Side all week.
Yeah. All right, so that covers day one.
We got Vex versus Jag. And I'm going to give that to Jag. They're, again, same thing. Top of the league. Should be able to handle this. If Vex get their absolute perfect team comp, they might be able to pull that out. But I think Jag is adept enough to be able to sniff that out and be like, all right, you're not getting this. Vex took a huge hit with Galio getting essentially gutted.
Yeah, I think Galio being gutted is hurting Vex's win condition a lot. But we did see Vex play off what I would say is off comfort to them last week, and that was the game that they almost took off of
Sero.
Yeah, it was Sero, right? Yeah, that was the game that they almost took off Sero. That they pretty much lost in their own hands. They honestly could have won that game.
They can play with the top teams.
Right. Vex is, like I said, Vex is able to compete with the top teams and take games and possibly sets off them. They just have to really focus.
Macro play.
So
that was their weak point.
Yeah.
They can get down their macro, they'll be fine.
And the biggest problem for them is they make a good choice and like they get a good play, and then the follow up decision after that to make the power play for it is what seems to be lacking for them. So if Vex has been able to kind of improve on that and capitalize on their whatchamacallums,
when they get a good play.
Yeah.
When they get a good play, if they're able to capitalize on it and really make that good play shine, as opposed to kind of dwindling out with a mistake next.
Yeah.
They'll really be able to. I think they'll be able to pull through. But either way, I'm still going to give it to Jag just because Vex does need some work.
Yeah.
And Jag's been looking really good.
Yeah, I would give it to Jag like 65-35. I think Vex definitely has a way in, but I think Jag overall should probably be able to take this. Next up would be Max Gaming versus Sero Gaming. It's pretty much the same thing with DOV versus Max. I think if DOV is like a slightly worse Sero, then there's really no reason why Sero should drop this.
Yeah. I think Sero comes out of this on top. 10 times out of 10. They should at least.
Right.
But again, we haven't been able to see Max, so we don't know how they are.
Right. They could be incredible at their team play and just not have the solo queue stats to back it up.
There's a definite possibility.
So it's really hard to objectively judge this right now, but I would give it to Sero just looking at it from the outside.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. The next we have Shockwave versus DLV. I would see DLV winning this. but again, we don't know too much about Shockwave other than Cat. I don't. Have we seen Faithful Fox play?
Yeah, he's been with them.
Yeah.
He's the
Okay.
he's the guy that actually stuck around. I think
Yeah.
DOV has a decent advantage in the jungle. I think I Hate Supports is one of the better junglers in the league, and I haven't seen
Yeah.
too much out of Gimli's to really be able to tell if he can take control of the game as well as DOV's jungler can.
I think that's gonna be really big for them to be able to get that jungle going.
Yeah.
Being that DOV does have such a strong jungler, if you can get that shut down, that helps a lot for Shockwave.
I think it also depends on if DOV actually picks a good jungle pick. If they're picking Shyvana again,
Right.
then Shockwave has a pretty decent chance.
Yeah.
But
He did okay on a game 2 last week, but I still don't think that they were using it to its full potential
right,
that it has.
and it didn't bring as much. So there's
Supposed to have Sedge or Zach or Skarner.
right. If DOV blunders in their pick ban, then Shockwave is going to be set up pretty well, especially because again they have I Feed His Cat, who should be able to hold his own. He might even be able to bully out Chad in lane. So I'm excited to see that matchup. But I do agree. I think DOV should be able to take it.
I don't. Unless the pick ban goes horribly wrong for DOV, I don't see too much stopping them, but they very well could, and I think Cat's a big part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, overall, it looks like a pretty good week. While we predicted all blue for day 1 and all red for day 2, so
Right.
theoretically, Side should have a 50% win rate this week.
Exactly. Should be going even here.
Yeah. Other than that, it's going to be a great week. I think play's been steadily improving, and we've only had 2 weeks already. So I'm really excited for it.
It's good to see teams that keep improving, getting better at their macro play and team-oriented play, which is really, really nice to see.
Yep.
Hope we keep seeing improvement throughout the season. It'll be really nice.
Yeah.
On late games. What are you gonna say is like the biggest matchup here for the week?
Biggest match of the week. That's a really hard one. Probably either Shockwave DOV or Unnamed in Team 7.
Yeah, I was gonna lean towards the Shockwave DOV, because we can't go too much off of Team 7.
Right.
But I think that also could be a pretty big game. I think that if I'm gonna pick a match to go 3 full games, I'm gonna go DOV and Shockwave though.
Yeah, I think that one's probably gonna end up being the closest match of the week.
Which is always fun having those late games go along,
Yeah. Everybody loves it. Let's get 3 40-minute games.
Yeah. Alright, well, that's all I got for the prediction side of things here.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it all up. Gameplay starts at 12 p.m. CST on March 17th. So show up, support us. We're getting fairly close to being eligible for Twitch affiliates. So if you could follow us on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, all the good jazz. Like I've said multiple times, any money that we make for the first season will go straight into the prize pool. So
yeah. So far, we do have a pretty good prize pool right now, and it'd be even better for a bigger one. Obviously, everyone likes the chance of more.
Yep.
So hopefully, we can start getting some, and not still a good prize pool either way. But yeah, it'll be good here, especially if we can get that affiliation.
Yep.
With them, which is I think in like 2 or 3 follows.
Yeah, I think we're only 3 follows away.
Really big, excited.
For sure.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I'm Hamcam.
I'm Tits.
And we'll see you on the 17th.
See you.